Today's episode is brought to you by Mazars. SoundCartel. Are you the kind of person who overcommits? Do you say yes to everybody and everything because you think that's the right thing to do? Well, the right thing sometimes is to simply say no. From SoundCartel, I'm Nicole Goodman, and this is Business Essentials Daily. No can often be the hardest word to say, but say it you must if you want to get back in control of your life and your work. So says business coach and self-appointed Time Lord, Les Watson. Les tells Chris Ashmore that there could be two reasons why people say yes to everything.
Could be fear of missing out. So people say, can you do this? And they go, oh, of course. And the other one is there are some of us that can't say no. They want to please people. So if someone says, can you walk across cut glass? And they go, yes, of course I can. Can you do this even though it's inconvenient? Yes, of course I can. Whereas underneath they're saying, I don't want to do it, but they don't have the ability to say no. They just can't say no. So as a listener, the question on the table is, do you say yes all the time? Or do you have the ability to say no?
Well, it's considered an admirable thing to say yes, isn't it?
It is an admirable thing to say yes. However, there is also a certain amount of things you need to get done in the day. And if you're saying yes to everybody else, you end up not getting your work done and end up under the pump, not as productive as what you might be. And here it is, 5 o'clock, and I haven't done the things that I want to do yet. And you end up staying back and staying late and putting other people out, or you don't get the relationships that you want, and you end up resenting those that gave you the tasks, and it's actually not their fault. They're going, are you available for this? And if you had have said no, then they would have moved on and got somebody else to do it.
Well, it's about setting boundaries, isn't it? And how do you recommend people do set boundaries?
Yeah, it's about personal boundaries. And the first key to this is taking a moment to set some boundaries. Being aware of, do you have boundaries? Being aware of, do people walk all over you when you're being asked to do things? For example, I'll give you a simple one. When the phone rings, do you ever go or ask yourself, should I answer it or should I not answer it? Or is it an automatic, I'm in the middle of something, the phone's ringing, I need to answer it? So there's a boundary there you can set called, I'm in this task and the phone's ringing, I'm going to finish this task and not answer the phone. For some people, they can't do that because they've got clients and they've got urgent things, and so I can understand that. But given that there are times when you don't have any urgent processes or tasks on your agenda, have you ever said to yourself, I have a personal boundary, I'm not answering the phone, or I'm not taking a meeting, or I'm not opening my door to somebody? So that's a boundary. Are you trying to impress somebody by saying yes? And there are those, oh, yes, I can do that. Oh, yes, I can do that. Oh, I can take that off your hand. Look at me, I'm fabulous. Now, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing to say yes. I'm just saying, do you say yes out of a lack of awareness when you say yes? Because some people please. And they'll people please at home, they'll people please at work, or they'll do one or the other. They won't do it at home, but they'll do it at work, or they won't do it at work and they'll do it at home. So it's an awareness. Become aware of, do you have boundaries in place? For example, here's one boundary. You could turn your phone off. Oh, no, I couldn't do that, Les. Try it. Or try this. Put it on silent mode. How about that? Put it on silent mode. Well, I don't even know if I've got silent. Yes, you do have silent mode on your phone, and you can put it on silent. Another one, do you take your phone into meetings? Or do you leave it at your desk or in your bag or suitcase or briefcase? Have you ever gone into a meeting and gone, I'm going to put my phone on silent, or actually turned it off? Have you ever let a phone call go through to voicemail? So those sorts of things really are key when setting boundaries. So I have a personal boundary around this action or around this request or around this period of time.
Mazars is an international audit, tax and advisory firm committed to helping clients confidently build and grow their businesses. To find out how Mazars can support your business, visit mazars.com.au. That's mazars.com.au.
There's something about the word no, isn't there, Les? It's hard for people to say that word, and it's particularly hard to say on the phone or in person, especially those pesky sales calls from a smooth talker.
And we've all got them. We've all got them. Those people that ring us all the time, it's like, me, and they're having a go. And it's not about their intent is bad. They've got a job to do. And I put in a boundary. And my simple boundary is, I can't take this call right now. The second boundary is, please take me off your call list. So it's a simple request, and I'm getting less and less calls because I'm asking them to take me off the call list. So it's hard to say no. And you can say it in a different way. It's like, it doesn't work for me right now. Your request doesn't work for me right now. Are you able to go to the shops for it? Well, that's not going to work for me. So it sounds really weird. Oh, that's not going to work for me. However, it works a treat. You can do this one. It's like someone comes in and says, I was wondering if you had 5 minutes. And you can say, that doesn't work for me right now, but can we do it at 3? So you're pushing it back. You're saying no, but you're saying it really nicely. So those sorts of things are not necessarily saying no, but saying no.
Have you heard of this concept, Les, about if it's not a hell yeah, then it's a no? What do you know about it and what does it mean?
I've heard it, and what it means is, are you passionate about it? Do you really want to give your time to it? Is it something that you're really interested in? And sometimes we get pulled along just by being wishy-washy. So if someone comes to you and says, I'm wondering if you wanted to go to the beach, if it's not a hell yeah, just say no. Don't go for the sake of going. Go because you're really, really interested. Do you want to go to this art exhibition? Oh, hell yeah. So that gives you passion. It's like the opportunity to go, yes, I want to do that with all of the cells in my body. I want to go. So it enables the individual to clarify what's important to me and what's not important to me. Because if it's important, say yes. If it's not important, give yourself the opportunity to say, that sounds really interesting, but that's not going to work for me right now. Or I may do that, but not just yet. Those sorts of things. A hell yeah is, come on, let's go. Let's go. And if it's not a hell yeah, it's a no.
Well, does being more conscious about saying no help with understanding what's important in life and prioritising those things?
Indeed, it does. Remember the times when we used to fly and they'd say, okay, if a lack of oxygen, a mask will fall from the ceiling. And they say this key phrase, put your mask on first and then help others. Put your mask on first and then help others. So by becoming aware of your boundaries, becoming aware of maybe your inability to say no, you have that opportunity to look after yourself first. Is that selfish? Sometimes it is, and sometimes you need to be selfish. You need to look after you first and everybody else second. So many times we've let go of this self-care and we end up at the end of the day and the end of the week and the end of the month and the end of the year just completely exhausted, and we wonder why we've got mental health problems in our society because we are giving too much to others. And I'm not saying giving to others is bad. I'm saying if you're aware of it, can you do something about it? Are there boundaries you can set? Can you say no in a nice way so that you can look after you first and then look after other people?
That was small business coach and productivity expert, Les Watson. This episode of Business Essentials Daily is produced by the team at SoundCartel. Thanks for listening. I'm Nicole Goodman. We'll bring you more Be Daily tomorrow. Follow at BE Daily Podcast across social media and head to bedaily.com.au for more from the Business Essentials Daily podcast. SoundCartel. This episode was brought to you by Mazars. To find out more, visit mazars.com.au. That's mazars.com.au.